Welcome to the Italian American Cultural Center. I'm with Dominic Massa, one of our honorees for 2017.
Thank you.
Dominic, welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Very honored.
So your family, you've been in New Orleans 100 years?
At least. Like so many stories of immigrants to New Orleans, my grandfather came over. He was an orphan in Genoa. He was, his parents died. He was an orphan, so he came over here. Creative ways to get over to the United States. I think he was working on ships and boats in the marine industry, and then was a shrimper, very much salt of the earth.
Well, then the shrimping industry has been such a staple for down here.
Fishing and shrimping industry, oyster boat, shrimp boat. The shrimp boat he had was by myself. And he built that boat by himself, and that was his boat, his livelihood. And then my father and his two brothers grew up in Lakeview, in New Orleans, their whole lives. And so I am a proud New Orleans Italian American.
So did the word get out for them to come over here that there was a lot of seafood in the Gulf? I mean, like, what was the impetus for them to like?
That, I think the agricultural community, this was the farming area, this was the seafood area, farming the sea,
sure,
the seafood product that they would farm. And so, yeah, I think word got back that this was the place to come. America was the place to go.
And now you're a storyteller.
And now, I was thinking as I'm here tonight at the museum that this place is about telling stories. And in my day job, which is at WWL TV, we tell stories. And so what is so great about this place is that it's preserving people's stories and sharing stories, people that you may not know that are on the walls, faces and pictures from the past. And so to me, that is sort of in line with what I do. And history I love, New Orleans history, but also just world history. Of course, our Italian history.
There's so much Italian history, and where this wall just went up about the jazz, and actually when it comes back to New Orleans with jazz, there's a lot of history here.
What I love is we just did a story recently about Pete Herman, the great Italian-American boxer, and most people may have heard of Pete Herman, but never knew he was Scalana, that he's Italian-American. So and back then, you may not have publicized that as much that you were Italian, but now, of course, we celebrate it. But even those that you may not know are Italian-Americans or have the Italian lineage, that this place can help tell those stories.
And WWL is actually located in what used to be called Little Palermo.
That's true. The Italian Quarter before it was the French Quarter and the Spanish Quarter. The Spanish and French Quarter, it was Italian, so very much so.
So you get a lot of content from ideas just
from walking the streets. I'll tell you where some of my great ideas have come from, and our great news ideas. Matassa's Market, which is what, 2 blocks away. It's a neighborhood meeting point melting pot, and the Matassa family's been there for generations, and great Italian American family. And so, yeah, French Quarter has many stories to tell too.
So do you think there was a turning point in the whole way it evolved for Italians, where they went from being on the docks to actually becoming the politicians in New Orleans? Is there an era that you think was the golden era?
Golden era. I would say, when was Mayor Robert Maestri in New Orleans?
Yes.
So it was, what, 30s, 20s, 30s, 30s, 40s, I guess. And so even then, though, I know there was discrimination, and there was always a feeling of, you had to earn everything you got. And I think that's one thing I have learned. Hard work and determination is what counts. You're not handed anything. Right. Our ancestors weren't. They weren't handed anything. I think of my grandfather working day in and day out and building a family and building a life. So I think all Italian Americans, even now, today, there's still probably some.
And you've won a couple of awards, Peabody, Katrina. I mean, you really stepped up during that period.
Well, I knew I always wanted to be in media. I didn't know what I wanted to do in the media. We laugh that sometimes you realize why you're not on camera, and sorry folks who are looking at me on camera here, because you can do so much more behind the scenes. There are many jobs behind the scenes people don't even realize. But no, I've been fortunate to work at WWL and have my whole career there, really. And I also should say at some of the programs I've done at WYES, which they do great historical documentaries.
Absolutely.
If I could do that daily, full time, I would. But WWL, was also a money proposition to pay the bills, as well.
So is there any lessons you want to pass on to the next generation of Italians that are coming into New Orleans?
Well, I think let's be true to our ancestors who know the value of hard work and determination. Also loyalty. Loyalty was so important to the Italian Americans because they had to be so tight-knit. So at a place like this where we're all together and we can say, our paisans and, our family, our cousins who we may not even know are our cousins. And some of the genealogy work that is done here too that can show the history that you may not even know.
The history is a big thing because they're doing a lot to keep it, but we're finding it, not a lot of people know all the history of what they went through 100 years ago.
So this is a place to come if you want to learn that. This is the place to find it. So.
Well, I look forward to hearing more tomorrow and seeing you get your award. Dominic, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Ciao. Welcome to the Italian Piazza in New Orleans, Louisiana. And right next door is the American Italian Cultural Center, which hosts numerous events throughout the year and is a great place to read about the Italian history. When you subscribe to our news, you'll get updated on all the videos we're making as far as the celebrities that come into New Orleans to talk about Italian culture, the parties, the events, what's going on. It's just a great way to learn about Italian history, the values, and what makes Italian being fun. E parlare italiano.